Welcome to the Kintsugi Moto podcast. For today's topic, we're going to cover 5 tips that can save you money when you're just starting out as a new motorcyclist. Many of you have heard the saying that the motorcycle is just the down payment on the accessories. And if you've taken a look at some of the prices of helmets, riding gear, side cases, lights, and other accessories, then you'll see what I'm talking about. It wasn't that long ago that I was a brand new motorcyclist, so let me share with you a few ways that I was able to start in the hobby without breaking the bank. First things first, if you're thinking about getting into the hobby, I can't recommend the Motorcycle Safety Foundation course highly enough. You'll learn the basics of motorcycle riding in a safe and controlled environment, and they even provide the motorcycles.
Tip number 1: Smart gear purchases.
If you take the Motorcycle Safety Foundation weekend course, then they may have some gear that you can borrow. But if you're like me and can't stomach wearing someone else's sweaty gear, then you might want to pick up a few things before you even throw a leg over a motorcycle. I know this podcast is about saving money, but the one area that I wouldn't skimp on is your helmet. It protects your head, so I would save up extra and make sure you buy a quality helmet. Look for reputable brands like Shoei, Arai, Schuberth, Bell, or Nolan. I would go try on a few and pick the one that's most comfortable for you. And I would also recommend that you get a full face helmet or a modular helmet as your first one. You can save money if you look for end-of-season closeout deals. Similar to other clothes, motorcycle gear manufacturers update their product lines with new styles all the time. And when you're just getting started, there's no need to get the latest model or style. Last season's helmet will work just as well. Same goes with the rest of your gear. Look for end-of-season discounts for gloves, boots, jackets, and pants. While you could get away with thick jeans and high-top sneakers, they don't have the extra padding and abrasion resistance of dedicated gear. So look for sales or even good used condition gear that can be washed and renewed.
Tip number 2: Test rides and avoiding buyer's remorse.
Once you've got that shiny new license, it's tempting to go out right away and buy the latest model motorcycle. Hopefully, this next tip will save you a bit of money and avoid a costly mistake. Find a dealer that will let you test ride the motorcycle, just like you would when you're buying a new car. However, unlike car dealers, not every motorcycle dealer offers demo rides. If you can't find a dealer near you that offers demo rides, then check out to see if the manufacturer will be doing a factory demo tour near you. I have several videos where I've signed up to demo motorcycles from BMW, Triumph, Harley-Davidson, Kawasaki, and Royal Enfield. I've also attended demo events from KTM and Ducati, and I know that Indian, Yamaha, and Suzuki have demo days too. These events are a great way to try out multiple motorcycles in a single day, so you can decide which model and style of riding is best for you. I've seen too many new riders go out and buy a brand new motorcycle that they've never ridden, and then a month later, it's being sold back to the dealer for a huge loss.
Tip number 3: Consider buying used.
Speaking of getting sold back to a dealer, another way to save money when starting out is to buy a used motorcycle. Just like new cars, brand new motorcycles lose value right after you pop the clutch and leave the lot. Picking up someone else's mistake can save you thousands over a new bike. It might not have all the features or exact color scheme that you're looking for, but it'll still give you miles of smiles and for a lot less. While we're on the topic of bikes, I have an unpopular opinion about what type of motorcycle beginners should target. Personally, I've seen too many quote-unquote beginner motorcycles like the BMW 300 GS, KTM 200 Duke, or Honda CB 300 that have only about 1,000 or fewer miles on them back at the dealer. What this indicates to me is that new riders are outgrowing these starter motorcycles very quickly. Yes, they're smaller and lighter and probably won't get you into trouble, but based on my experience riding them, you'll very quickly outgrow them and be looking to upgrade once you get a little more comfortable on a motorcycle. So save some money and buy something a little bit larger, like a BMW R9T or a Triumph Tiger 900, or maybe a Honda CB 750. These are considered middleweight motorcycles, and while they might be a bit of a handful for brand new riders, I think these will be motorcycles that you'll keep as you build your skills and provide a longer lasting riding experience.
Tip number 4: Learn basic motorcycle maintenance.
Another skill that can save you money is learning to work on your motorcycle yourself. Mastering even the most basic skills will save you money on annual maintenance to keep your motorcycle in top condition. Learning to maintain and adjust the chain and changing the air filter, spark plugs, engine oil, and other fluids will definitely limit the number of trips to the dealer or motorcycle mechanic. And I think learning to be your own wrench adds to being a motorcycle enthusiast. There are plenty of resources to help you learn. YouTube and this channel have some great tutorials. There are workshop manuals that will walk you through the process step by step. And if you join a local motorcycle club, I can guarantee there will be an experienced wrench among the group who would be happy to show you how to work on your motorcycle.
Tip number 5: The charm of classic motorcycles.
And to make learning motorcycle maintenance skills even easier, my final tip on saving money when you're starting out is to buy a classic or vintage motorcycle. New motorcycles have a lot of fancy gadgets and electronics on them, and it makes it harder to work on these motorcycles. True, older motorcycles don't have traction control or ABS brakes, but I'll argue that when you're starting out, you should learn to control a motorcycle without all these special aids to help build your skills as a motorcyclist. Older motorcycles, especially those that are carbureted, only require 3 things to run: air, gas, and spark. So it'll be easier to diagnose the problems, and in many cases, the parts that you will need to fix them will be less expensive with older motorcycles as well. And here's a bonus tip. Older motorcycles are also less expensive to insure. And in some cases, if you're not riding the motorcycle every day, you might be able to get classic motorcycle insurance, which is even cheaper. Finally, with an older motorcycle, it hurts a little less when you drop it. And yes, you will at some point in your motorcycling journey drop your motorcycle, no matter how carefully you ride. Dropping an older bike might be a little less heart-wrenching emotionally and financially compared to a newer one. So those are my tips on how to save money when you're just starting out. Motorcycling is fun and exciting hobby, but it can get expensive very quickly. Hopefully, these tips will help you out. And if you have some additional tips, please share them in the comment section. If you found this podcast helpful or interesting, I'd really appreciate it if you consider subscribing. All right, thanks for listening to another episode of the Kintsugi Moto podcast. Until next time, keep the rusty side up and the leaky side down.